First half, 7-4 Birds. Todd Wimhainer. Tubby Smith standing up in front of the bit. Oh, super play by Mr. Fitch. Birds by 5, 9-4 on the Fitch dunk. Steal. Wimhainer had it, lost it. Taken right back by a newcomer to the Tulsa lineup, Jeff Malum. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Northeast Oklahoma A&M, a junior college. Broken Arrow is suburban Tulsa, by the way, and we have an offensive foul whistle against Gary Collier. I think the Birds got a break on that call.
They did. They called Collier on the push away right there, and I don't know about that call.
There's a
dunk of Steve Fitch. Jeff Malum got broken in the way you don't like to. He comes in and he has to guard Fitch, and Fitch goes right around him and slams it on him.
So it's a 9-4 score. Leaving for Tulsa is Gary Collier. Coming on for the Golden Hurricane, number 24, Jody Huffman. He's 6'5", 190, a junior. Also from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Also from Northeast Oklahoma A&M. Redbirds on the attack with a 5-point cushion. 14-20 left to go in the first half as Todd Wimhainer holds it. We'll be talking with Richard Thomas at halftime on our player profile. Vandegaard a nice drive. Hernady blocked the shot. At 6'7", Hernady timed it pretty well. Here's Morris on the drive to the basket against Richard Thomas. Mark Morris was the MVP last year, Steve, in the National Junior College postseason tournament. Western Arizona Community College. Nice feed, baseline Fowler, fouled by Hernady. Hey, Greg Hernady, there's a good look at it, number 57. He do come to play,
Oh, boy, that looked like a block right there to me, but the ref thought that he got a little bit of Fowler's hand and called it as a two-shot foul.
Here's Scotty Fowler at the line. Leads ISU in scoring. Second in rebounding. Fowler's weight now officially in the archives of Illinois State Sports Information up from 235 to 250. I was kidding Kenny Mossman. I said he's got a leg that weighs 235.
Exactly.
Todd Cagle is checked in the Redbird lineup. It was a good look at Todd. Tough ball game, 9-6. Illinois State by 3. Fowler's throw, it's there. Not a bad free throw shooter, Steve. 73% on the year.
No, he's got a real nice touch from the line.
One more throw to Todd Fowler. Wichita State played at Bradley tonight. They'll be here Monday night. We'll also have that one for you right here on telecable. Second throw, Fowler. Redbirds have come out of the blocks and hit 7 out of 8 free throws. There you see Brian Kern checking in. So let's quickly give you the ISU lineup now. Vandegaard, Cagle, Fitch, Thomas, and Brian Kern on the floor for the Redbirds. ISU almost had the steal. Loose basketball coming up at the wall now is Biddy Gibbs, who's out there for Tulsa. And it's a 10-second violation. Listen to the crowd roar. Great defensive job by ISU. Tubby Smith can't believe it.
ISU's picked up the intensity on that little press right there a little more. It was a token press to begin the game, but now they're putting a little more pressure on Tulsa.
There's Tubby, is he on the sideline? The fans want a technical foul. He's still working the official. But ISU's got the basketball. He was unhappy with the 10-second call. Tubby really giving him a growl. Richard Thomas to Steve Fitch. Here's Todd Cagle. These guys probably saw all the Todd Cagle they wanted to the first time around. Richard Thomas on the fly. Brian Kern battles. Gets the pass out front, but Mark Morris with the steal. Morris down for the Hurricane. Puts it on the floor. Has to give up the dribble. Left side dribble drive. Gibbs cut off. Nice defensive job by Fitch, who went back to the baseline and held things up. And now Mark Morris out front says, okay, let's start the motion offense. You can see him signaling with the arm. Set it up. Also on the floor for Tulsa now is Fallon Way-Casey, number 50. We'll tell you about him in a minute. Ball is loose, and Brian Kern for the Redbirds. The big guy from Vandalia wrestles it clear. They're Richard Thomas. ISU by 5 and 11-6. There's Steve Fitch. Fitch in the corner to Todd Cagle. Pulls it up inside the arc and got it. Two-pointer by Cagle. Yeah, pretty good crowd here. Not as big as for the Southern game, but the fans have come to life. And the long-range 3 misfires. Rebound Vandegaard. Shot was taken by number 14, Jeff Malum. Here's Todd Cagle. Heavy traffic. Cagle on an opening of the basket. Didn't realize it. Richard Thomas realized it. He goes inside. Off balance. Launches it. No good. Kern battles for the board. How are they going to call it? They're going to go to Kern. They're going to go against Tulsa. Way-Casey, it goes against Brian Kern.
I think they got Brian Kern going over the top stop there. One official had called it that it was out of bounds ISU basketball, but the other official saw it as a foul against Brian Kern.
I think the official who called the foul on Kern was correct.
Exactly, went right through the man.
There's, you see, number 22, Jamal West in for Tulsa. Way Casey, number 50, was the starting tight end on the Tulsa football team. Is considered an NFL prospect, big number 50. He goes 6'8", 250 pounds, a senior. Also, Jamal West, who came in the game, played on the football team a couple of years ago, suffered a shoulder separation. I don't know if it was in football or basketball, but he hasn't played football since then. Antoine Hicks out there for the Birds. Hicks and Cagle the guards. Vandegaard up front, along with Chuck Barnes in the ball game now, and Brian Kern, as Bob Bender has dug into his bench at this stage. ISU leads it by 7 at 13-6. There's Chuck Barnes, cut off, blocking foul. And a pretty good call in that particular instance, as Barnes tried to move to the baseline, and the foul has been whistled against Tulsa's Jody Huffman. I'll tell you, Tubby Smith got rid of the jacket. So much for fashion, right?
He's not liking the officiating right now. He's had a few calls go against his squad, so he's really giving the official an earful.
Tubby Smith, first-year head coach at Tulsa. Overall record 8-7 right now. They're going well in the Valley, though, at 6-2. Chuck Barnes at the Gratis line for the Redbirds. There's a good look at Chuck. Not a real good free throw shooter, as you see, 57%, and the ball dances out on him, and Tulsa has the basketball. Tulsa brings it up, almost completely different lineups. In fact, they are completely different than the ones that started the ball game right now. Sliding inside, getting the shot up and in for Tulsa was Jody Huffman. 13-8, ISU lead down to 5. Mike Vandegaard from Todd Cagle against the Tulsa trap in the defensive zone. Here is Antoine Hicks, the senior from Chicago St. Rita, breaks the pressure. Antoine's played pretty well this year by and large. He's much more calm, cool, and collected than a year ago. See how cool he can be there against that tough double team, but he was. He got the ball to Vandegaard. We have a whistle-stopping play underneath, and I believe Way Casey picked that one up, the big guy on the inside. Nope, they call it not against Way Casey, but against Jamal West.
Jamal West, right.
West is from B.T. Washington High School right there in Tulsa. Not a big kid, 6'3", 190, a senior. Missed the 89-90 season with shoulder surgery. Brian Kern at the line. Brian's a .538 free throw shooter, averaging 3.6 points a game.
It's hard to understand why he's a 50% free throw shooter. It looks like he has a real nice touch.
That's why they don't all go in.
That's right. 50. He made 1 out of 2. That's 50%, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a little better shooter than that. 14-8 ball game. Illinois State leading by 6. 10:55 for the half. Number 22 is Jamal West. Whistle stops play again, and Antoine Hicks picks up the personal away from the ball. Well, I guess not really away from the ball either. He was trying to cover defensively. Well, we had one slam dunk by Steve Fitch so far in the ball game. We had a 3. I guess we have not had a 3 as yet. And this game came in ballyhooed as the 3-point shot. We've covered it. Oh. Jeff Malum inbounds the basketball over to number 22. That's Jamal West. Here's Jamal. Comes off on the right side of the floor. As the pass goes to Benny Gibbs. Now back out to Jamal West. Set kind of a high post right about the 3-point arc. Vandegaard almost came up with the theft out there from Jody Huffman, but couldn't quite get to it as Benny Gibbs has the ball. Benny now works off. Number 24, which is Jody Huffman, back to Benny Gibbs for the long jumper. It does not go. Ball rolling around free. Bob Bender wanted the traveling call. Loose on the floor. Now we're going to have a jump ball situation. It'll belong to Illinois State. Redbirds are 3 of 11 from the field, 27%. Tulsa is 4 of 14, 29%. Tulsa hasn't been to the free throw line as yet. Tulsa with a rebounding edge of 10-9. Golden Hurricane with 5 turnovers. ISU with 3. Things are kind of ragged at old Redbird Arena right now.
Hasn't been pretty yet.
Wimhater. Pass intercepted by Way Casey. Way Casey with a nice intercept. The big football player clears the ball to Jamal West, and they go inside for a charge. Jeff Malum called for the charging violation. Malum, this decked defender for ISU, and the Redbirds have the basketball. There's Tubby Smith on the Tulsa bench.
It's calmed down a little bit since we last saw him on the screen when he was chewing an official's ear.
Tubby's got his very well-dressed gentleman with his nice white shirt on there and tie, but the sport coat or suit coat has long since disappeared. Tulsa lineup now. Mark Morse has come back in. Jason Ludwig back in the ball game. Also Dominic Bird. They leave Jody Huffman out there along with Wade Casey. Todd Wimhaner on the floor for the Redbirds. ISU back to a starting backcourt combination of Wimhaner and Richard Thomas. 14-8, Birds by 6. Here's Vandegaard. Vandegaard low, turnaround, and a foul stopping play prior to the fadeaway by Vandegaard. And the foul is whistled against the Golden Hurricanes' Jody Huffman.
Vandegaard's coming off a real good game at Southern last week. I think he set a career high in scoring that game, and he had 16 points against Tulsa last time they played. And
against Southern, not at Southern.
Right. But he hasn't yet to see the ball really a whole lot tonight, and he'll go to the line right now shooting a bonus.
It's been a game where both offenses have been pretty inept, mainly because of scrambling defensive efforts. Neither team has really gotten into anything.
No, they haven't.
Mike Vandegaard at the line, shooting a pair. He's a 6'23" free throw shooter. From the field, Mike shoots an excellent 5-12. Here's a good look at Vandegaard, 8.2 scoring average. Bloomington, Minnesota sophomore. Second throw, spins out, rebound, Wade Casey. Fallon Wade Casey, 6'8", 250-pound senior from the thriving community of Kansas, Oklahoma.
He's produced a lot of basketball talent, Art.
Where, Kansas, Oklahoma is?
Never heard of it.
Wade Casey just had the shot blocked on the inside. Outlet pass. Scott Taylor was about putting the cheap seats, but he grabbed the pass. Here's Wimhaner. Back door to Scotty. Here's Taylor working low to Richard Thomas. Going to try the three on the way. No good. Rebound hauled down by Jason Ludwig for Tulsa. To Mark Morse. 15-8 ball game. Illinois State by 7. Morse shoulders in against Richard Thomas, as you see. Well out of the floor is Huffman. Now back to Morse. Morse loves to pull the trigger on the three. He does. It's on the way. Doesn't go. Nice rebound, Richard Thomas. Richard skies. Off to Brian Kern to Wimhaner. Wimhaner has it knocked away and a foul. Whistle against Jody Huffman. Hey, the way Tulsa's fouling, it's a good thing they're deep.
That's right. That's a good foul, though, right there by Jody Huffman.
We'll
see this again. Tulsa just can't get it to go down right now and had a break 3-on-none right there, and Jody took the foul and will put him at the line.
I was hoping for a minute Kern to take about 2 dribbles and go right to the hole. Wimhaner was wide open. Nice assist. Todd will go to the free throw line. Vandegaard checks out for Illinois State. Kern also goes out. Fowler back in. Fitch back in. Leaving for Tulsa, number 24, Huffman, back in the ball game for the Hurricane. Jeff Malham, that's Malham. There you see Todd Wimhaner at the free throw line shooting a pair. Well, 778 free throw shooter Wimhaner couldn't get that one home. He's from Quincy. He leads ISU in steals with 36. I don't think that'll surprise anybody. He and Richard Thomas, though, between the two of them, have combined for 58 thefts this season.
That's right. They're an excellent defensive backcourt.
Todd's second throw doesn't go. Wimhaner misses a pair. Score remains at 15-8. Mark Morse up for Tulsa. Free throw shooting has become a lost art in college basketball this year. Dribble drive to the basket. Fade away. Rolls up and in. Getting the shot home was Dominic Bird. Bird out of Fort Worth, Texas. He was played at Western Texas Junior College. Pull up by Scott Taylor. Back iron. No good. Rebound. Hauled down by the big guy, Fallon. Wade Casey down the floor to Morse on the drive. Misses it. Rebound. Malham. No good. Wade Casey had it. Lost it. Getting it right back on the inside. Going to the basket and scoring with a good move. Is that Bird? It was.
Bird. Yes, it was.
Now it's 15-12. Illinois State lead down to 3. Tulsa's going to force you to play their tempo with a pair. Scott Taylor out to Fitch at three-point range. In and out will not go, and the rebound flat-footed to Jeff Malham, who's 6'6", a 210-pound sophomore. Morse slides inside, misses it. Wade Casey tips it in.
I'll tell you, Mark Morse starts everything for Tulsa's offense. You got to stop him when he has the ball in his hand coming down.
I'll tell you, when he penetrates, he's tougher when so far. 19-11, the rebounding edge to Tulsa. Tulsa's turned it over 7 times. ISU has turned it over 5.
Nice hit right there by Mark Morse. He is quick.
That was only a 2-pointer, but it's still a 16-15 Tulsa lead. Down the floor to Fitch. Fitch for the layup and got it. Steve Fitch. Fitch has 3 of ISU's 4 buckets. 17-16. Redbirds by 1. Jump ball is forced as Scott Taylor and Scott Fowler combined to really put the clamps on Dominic Byrd. Tell you though, Steve, this does show what coaches always say, what defense will do for you. Illinois State, ice cold from the field, 25% shooting, staying in there with defense.
It has been an ugly offensive night so far.
Ludwig lobs the ball in to Bryant Tipton, who we have established as a 6'8" player, not a 7-footer.
Right.
Mark Morris looking to Tubby Smith over on the Tulsa bench for some instructions. Morris being hounded by Richard Thomas. There's a couple of quick ones there. There's a nice feed inside and blowing. The easy shot was Bryant Tipton. Birds with the board down quickly. Scott Taylor. Wimhainer at the free throw line. Won't go. Rebound. Malum controls. Got her out of there for Tulsa inside of Steve Fitch. And here's Mark Morris pushing it the other way. Morris around Thomas. Knocked away by Thomas. Stolen by Taylor. That turnover was forced, though, by Richard Thomas.
That's right. He got a hand in there and forced the turnover on Morris.
Here's Richard working off the wing, penetrating, dishes the Fowler. Scott in heavy traffic, got it home.
Like to see Richard do a little more of that, penetrating and getting the ball to the big man.
His freshman year, he really did that a great deal, and didn't do it much last year. Needs to do it more, you're right.
Sure does.
Well, out on the floor, number 21 for the Golden Hurricane is Dominic Byrd. He's 6'5". They have a lot of kids in the 6'5", 6'6" range. Byrd dishes to Ludwig. Ludwig shot. No good. He hasn't caught fire as yet. Rebound underneath. The follow is up and off. No good by Tipton, and a foul against Scott Fowler on the inside. Going to take a look again.
Get a look at the last basket by Illinois State here. Good penetration by Richard Thomas, ditches off to Fowler, and Fowler just goes straight up and gets an easy two. But to get back to the point that you made about all the 6'5" athletes that Tulsa has, it looks like Tubby Smith in his first year of recruiting went out and got the best athletes he could. He didn't go for size or a position. He just went out and got the best athletes, and they usually fall in that 6'3" to 6'5" range.
Well, they are athletes. There's no question about that. I got a couple of kids off the football team. Of course, one that was a standout tight end, as we mentioned several times, Way Casey. And Jamal West had played football. Not that that's necessarily a criteria, but it does show the kid's a pretty good athlete. Bryant Tipton's free throw rolls away. 19-16. He'll have one more throw. Waiting to come in is a kid I've been impressed by, Greg Hernady. He'll be out there in a moment. Second throw, no good. Rebound. Cleared by Dominic Byrd. A fadeaway whistle. Offensive foul. Offensive foul on Dominic Byrd, his second.
Good shot at Dominic Byrd. You can tell he didn't like the call. He thought he had a nice rebound and was going to get an easy basket.
What makes you think he didn't like that call?
Oh, gee. If you can read lips, you can tell.
Ball will be inbounded now by the Redbirds against that trapping full court pressure. Mike Vandegaard, he finds the open man, Fitch right in the center circle. Here's Steve Fitch, brings it down to Taylor. Taylor shoots and misses it. Rebound, Richard Thomas off the floor, off balance, no good. Rebound, Fitch. Back up and in. Job again by Thomas in the paint, kept it alive. 21-16, the Redbirds lead it by 5, and we have a cessation of play for some reason. Way Casey was going to come in the ball game.
I think they got Scotty Taylor on a push inside.
Yeah, foul must have stopped play. It did. A lot of fouls called so far in this ball game. That Southern Illinois Southwest Missouri game today must have taken half of the morning to play. The game started at 11 o'clock. They weren't into the second half to well after 12:30.
Jeez.
30 fouls, I think, or 30 free throws taken in the first half. Something
That'll
of that
take
sort.
time.
We may approach that here. Hernady at the line. Greg Hernady just came back in the ball game and drills in the free throw. Good free throw shooter, 8'16" at the line, out of Kingwood, Texas. 6'7", 215-pound freshman.
He's a great-looking player for a freshman. This guy's got a heck of a body.
Chad Altadonna replaces Todd Wimhainer for the Redbirds, a kid from Centralia. 21-17 score, 4-point lead ISU. The winner moves into a tie for first place in the Valley. Hernady's second throw. Very important ball game for both clubs. Of course, Tulsa would love to have a sweep after the win over Bradley Thursday night. Wichita State will try for the same thing, and ISU would like to deny it. Here's a pass, intercepted, picked off by Dominic Byrd to Malum. Pass intercepted. Richard Thomas with another steal. Nice job by Thomas. Filled the passing lane and came up with a big theft. Mike Vandegaard brings it across. Ball knocked away from Mike. Dives on the floor. Clears to Thomas. He's sandwiched to Mark Morris. Picks up the foul. His first. Boy, that basket basketball. He's talking about a football attracting a crowd.
I'll
See it
this
again.
is some crazy play. Mike Vandegaard's a little bit out of control, and Richard Thomas got mugged there and will go to the line shooting it.
Look at Tubby. Tubby is not Tubby, for one thing.
No, he isn't.
If I had a nickname like Tubby, it'd be for a reason. At the line is Richard Thomas. 69% free throw shooter. ISU, after a pretty good start at the line, has missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. Second throw by Richard is no good. Boy, that can come back to haunt you. Malum with the rebound. Off to Mark Morris down the right sideline. On the move is Lou Dawkins, who just came in the ball game, and he scores. Lou Dawkins flying to the basket. First time he's been out there, out of Saginaw, Michigan. 6'5". He's a sophomore. Makes the score 21-20 Illinois State. Fitch has Hernady to beat. Slams it. Got it. 10 points for Steve Fitch. Bounce pass low. Hernady working against Kern. Whistle, foul. Foul on Chad Altadonna. We're going to see the slam dunk by Fitch.
I'll tell you, this is a great play by Fitch. Altadonna gets him the basketball, and he just goes right around. I didn't think he had any chance of dunking that ball.
Nice feed from Altadonna.
Really was.
He gave it to him on the side where he could really work. After that dunk by Fitch, Tubby Smith immediately went to the bench to Fallon Way Casey. Must have put him in for Hernady. Apparently he feels Hernady was manhandled by Fitch. I think on that particular play is what had him unhappy, but Way Casey can't come in the ball game yet. ISU, of course, had a story years ago when a basketball player went to football. One more throw to Hernady at the line to our right. Hernady, nets throw. He's 3 out of 4 at the line. Now he leaves, and Fallon Casey comes in the ball game for Tulsa. Richard Thomas to Mike Vandegaard. Vandegaard double team, triple team. Finally cleared it. They finally call a foul. Tulsa's so very, very aggressive on this pressure defense, but Tubby Smith figures he plays about 12 kids. He's got plenty of fouls to use. The player I was trying to think of that played basketball for Will Robinson here was Calvin Harper. Completed his 4 years of basketball eligibility. Still had another year in school, and had never played football, so
why not try
played football. Then went with Kansas City's Chiefs for a while, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That brings back a lot of memories. Calvin Harper and that guy. Free throw was good by Vandegaard.
I'll tell you, Fallon White Casey, the big center for Tulsa, reminds me of Rick Lamb a little bit. Kind of built similar. I would have liked to seen Rick Lamb come out and play football.
He was a quarterback, though.
That's right. Well, maybe I wouldn't.
At Illiopolis, yeah. So were you. He was bigger than you were.
That's right. And better than I was.
25-21, ISU by 4. Down the home stretch in the first half. You see the clock on your screen. While Casey gets the ball to Mark Morris, the Tulsa Hurricane backliner fires it. Nice rebound, Vandegaard. Mike Vandegaard looking up the floor. Gets the pass off to Chad Altadonna. Cross court, Fitch. Fitch was going for the alley-oop, didn't quite connect. Basketball for Tulsa. Lou Dawkins. Dawkins powers down the lane, lays it up, finger roll, got it. Dawkins has made 2 super moves.
He really has.
In the last, 30, 40 seconds. Altadonna against Fitch is 25-23. The Redbirds lead it by 2. Vandegaard from Fitch. A whistle-stopping play once again. This time it's Fallon Way Casey with the personal foul.
We'll put Mike Vandegaard at the line. Mike struggled a little bit offensively tonight, but he's done a great job on the board so far. ISU
is 4 of their last 11 from the free throw line, and that can get you in trouble. That's really, frankly, what beat Southern today against Southwest Missouri. They missed 10 free throws.
That's right.
Southwest missed 2. Yeah, Mike Vandegaard threads the needle on that one. 26-23, 3:30. Time I worked a game with you, Mage. It's close.
I know. I like it this way.
Second throw, no good. It's making up for those football blowouts we had. Here's a nice steal by Vandegaard. Good job by Mike. You saw Mike stay in the defensive zone. Really didn't have time to turn and go back and play defense. Mike posting low against Hernady, who's back out there now. There's a nice feed to Kern. Bryant can't get it down. Ball loose. Picked up on the floor, and a foul on Mike Vandegaard as he was diving for the basketball.
I'll tell you, if you're a coach right there, you don't mind that foul. Mike Vandegaard going after the loose ball just got called reaching in a little bit.
I think both coaches right now figure, hey, this officiating crew of Anderson, Lyman, and Millentree are going to let us play.
That's right.
As long as they're going to let us play, we got fouls to use. Let's go after them. Both teams are running. Both teams are playing pressure defenses.
Both teams are going about 8 or 9 deep in their bench right now, too. Really playing a lot of players.
It's not a pretty game, but the final score is the only statistic you really worry about. Craig Hernady. I think we've had Craig's spelling of his name on the screen. It's H-E-R-N-A-D-I, Hernady, out of Kingwood, Texas. There's a good-looking Mr. Hernady at the stripe. Good-looking freshman, isn't he?
Sure is.
Timeout taken. It's an official timeout here at the Redbird Arena with 3:11 to go in the half. Illinois State's lead is down to 1 on the 2 Hernady free throws. We'll be back in just a moment. Here's Richard Thomas. Thomas being hounded by Benny Gibbs out front. Benny's out of Atlanta, Georgia. Left side of the floor to Thomas. Here's Richard looking inside, gets the ball to Todd Wimhaner. They go low to Brian Kern, big freshman out of Vandalia. Back to Wimhaner. Here's Wimhaner trying to move against Mark Morse. And Morse is a pretty good defensive player too, isn't he? Wimhaner is called for illegal pick. Bouncing off Wimhaner was Lou Dawkins, and they called a foul on Wimhaner. And Todd says, who, me? What did they do?
I'll tell you, Lou Dawkins has given Tulsa a nice boost. Come down in and made 2 quick baskets and picked up a charge right there, so he'll go to the line shooting the bonus.
Yeah, for a guy that's averaging 3.4 points per game. ISU is currently shooting 33%, 7 of 21. Tulsa's not exactly hot either. They're also 33%, 10 of 30. Rebounding is the big difference. 26 for Tulsa, 15 for ISU.
It's a lot of missed shots.
But ISU has harassed Tulsa into 11 turnovers while the Birds have 7. Good stats, bad stats, right? Well, Mr. Dawkins pulls up short on the free throw. He'll have one more throw. 26-25, Illinois State with 2:44 for the half. Mark Morse leaves for the Hurricane, and on comes Jamal West. One of the few local products on this Tulsa ball club. Dawkins rings the bell on the second one. 26 apiece. Todd Cagle and Thomas now your guard combination. Here's Todd driving the ball to the second line. Gets the ball to Vandegaard. Back to Todd Cagle. Moving on Cagle is number 15, Benny Gibbs. Richard Thomas. Fitch. Steve's had a good first half. Here's Thomas. Thomas working inside. Back to Vandegaard. Intercepted by Malum. Malum carries it out of bounds, and Illinois State will have possession. Vandegaard may be looking to give up the ball a little bit more than he would like at this point, Steve, because I think he's had a couple of opportunities to go to the basket.
I think so. I don't know. He lost confidence in his shot or something. He's had a couple chances, like you said, to penetrate and make a basket.
Tied at 26 with 2:17 for the half. Vandegaard, Thomas, Cagle. They're posting Brian Kern down low now with Vandegaard on the left side of the floor. There's Steve Fitch over in the wing. Back to Cagle. To Vandegaard. Also in a man-to-man. They have been throughout. Here is Brian Kern. Down, no time left on the clock. ISU's Thomas threw it in well after. I didn't hear the buzzer go off either, but the time had expired. The buzzer didn't appear to be in sync with the shot clock. ISU didn't get it off in time. You heard the fans roar. Never like to see that occur. So Tulsa with the chance to go ahead. Hernady just hands the ball to Jamal West. Here's Dawkins. Dawkins puts a move on Vandegaard. Blocked by Vandegaard. Knocked away. Loose basketball. Thomas on the dive for it. Dawkins picks it up. Gets the ball down the lane. Underhand layup. No good. Rebound out front. Here's Richard Thomas. Thomas in the foot race. One man to beat. Richard Thomas goes sprawling. And now we have Vandegaard getting involved with the Tulsa player. Jamal West is the player that came back and cut off Richard Thomas. Also the player that missed a shot at the other end.
We'll get a chance to see this again. The fans are screaming for an intentional foul. Here it is right here. I just think this is a hard foul.
Yeah.
I don't think he was intentionally trying to hurt him or.
Fortunately, Richard didn't get injured on the play, nor did the Tulsa player Jamal West. And at the line is Richard Thomas, shooting 2. He's missed his only 2 previous tries.
There's a graphic on Richard Thomas, leads ISU in 3-point shooting.
Well, the free throw gives the Birds the lead. Conversation between official Terry Anderson and Mike Vandegaard out near the 10-second line a moment ago, and they seem to be in agreement, whatever it was. Antoine Hicks is going to come on for Illinois State, and back in comes Fallon Wacasey. Casey, actually. Spells that W-A-C-A-S-E-Y for Tulsa. One more throw to Richard Thomas. So after Richard gets spilled on the floor, he comes back and drops in both free throws. Illinois State by 2 at 28-26. Thomas out. Antoine Hicks in for ISU. 1:22 for the half. Fans really booing Jamal West, who was involved in that, not really an altercation, a collision into the basket. Benny Gibbs on the drive, won't go. Antoine Hicks, man, oh man. Looked like Kareem had come back for a minute.
He really got up on that one.
Hagel to Fitch. Fitch's pass intercepted by Casey. Down the floor to Dawkins for the easy layup. Nobody was back on defense. Dawkins had a 7-point first half. We're tied at 28 with 52 seconds to go. First half of the ball game. Todd Cagle, Bob Bender says go on down. Todd can bring it up himself, and he does. Off to Antoine Hicks. 39 seconds on the game clock, 33 seconds on the shot clock. That's the game clock on your screen. We'll watch the shot clock for you. 27 seconds left to go in the first half. We're tied at 28.
Looks like ISU is going to be content with taking the last shot if they get that opportunity.
2-second difference, roughly. Shot clock, game clock. Cagle. Antoine Hicks. Antoine's free. Doesn't go. Nice rebound. Vandegaard. Vandegaard clears it with 11 seconds left to go. Now the shot clock will be turned off as ISU has possession. Cagle to Vandegaard. 6 seconds and a half. He got it! Three-pointer! Mike Vandegaard, and that's it. The first half is history on the Vandegaard 3.
There's no time left on the clock.
You take a few more of them.
Yeah.
31-28 ISU uniforms. Richard Thomas, Win Hader, Thomas, Fitch, Fowler, and Scott Taylor. ISU to a starting combination out there. Scott Fowler pulls it up and got it. 33-28, 5-pointer. Illinois State on top by 5. Jason Ludwig whirls off the screen and got her down. First field goal for Ludwig. Boy, you got to keep him under control because he can really light
That's
it up.
right. You don't want him to get started. He'd just be another plus for Tulsa.
He's probably been their most reliable player over the last couple of years. Scott Fowler inside, rolls it up, does not go. Taylor on the board and was fouled underneath, and I think it may go to Tipton. Let's see.
I think they got Tipton over the top right there.
They did. Bryant Tipton, our mystery height man for Tulsa. Well, we made a big deal out of that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Bryant doesn't do a lot. He doesn't score a lot or any of that, but plays good defense.
He hasn't grown to be 7 feet tall either.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, ISU threw it away against very limited pressure, and Tulsa has the basketball. 33-30. Got to be one of the most frustrating sports to coach. Bob Bender down there kneeling in front of the ISU bench. Tubby Smith has his suit coat back on now. Wonder how long that'll last. There's Mark Morris. Morris off on the right wing to Bryant Tipton. Now they swing the ball to Dominic Bird. Bird with a 6-point first half, the number 2 scorer in this ball game. Bird gets it back, a little reluctant to shoot against Fitch. Now he pulls it up, hangs it on the iron. Rebound Collier with a hook, and he scores. Gary Collier with the hook shot, 33-32. ISU's lead down to a point again. Here's Richard Thomas. Mark Morris, number 12, is on him defensively. 2 fine little backliners.
That's true. That's been a great battle all night.
Mark Morris only 5'7". Here's the pull up by Taylor. It won't go down. Traveling for the ball, out of bounds. It goes out before Scott Fowler can catch up with it. And the basketball goes back to Tulsa. So the Hurricane with a chance to take the lead as Gary Collier inbounds it to Mark Morris. Morris on the right wing. Comes out to Jason Ludwig. Cross court to Dominic Bird. Bird back to Morse. Right side, Collier. Or no, that's tipped it out there, number 32. Here's the pull-up by Morse. It dips in and out. Nice rebound, Scott Taylor. Off to Richard Thomas. We go the other way. ISU with the 1-point lead. Richard Thomas checked off by Ludwig. That's a matchup I'm sure they don't really want. Big difference in quickness there.
That's
Ludwig
right.
is 6'6". They feed out to Fitch. Fitch being checked off on the far side to Thomas. Thomas can't get the shot home. Nice rebound, hauled down by Brian Tipton. Tipton to Mark Morris. There you can see how small Morris is. He comes up in traffic. Looks inside, nothing there. Covered by Richard Thomas. Works off on the right wing to Dominic Bird. There's Bird on the dribble as Steve Fitch had to step over a fallen ball player from Tulsa. ISU with a 1-point lead. Early stages, game second half, 33-32. Haven't had the attendance here yet tonight. Pretty good crowd.
Not too bad. Tulsa's doing a lot of standing around right now on offense. Tommy Smith's trying to get a movement.
Cut off, and here's a foul. They're going to call it on Fowler or Thomas. Thomas, I think. Yep, foul goes to Richard Thomas. His second personal foul. Neither team really geared up as yet in the second half, but you can't blame them. The tempo in the first half was so fantastic.
Right.
It'll take a while to get everything rolling here, but they will before long. Gary Collier from Fort Worth Dunbar High School, 6'4", 195-pound sophomore. Their number 2 scorer at the 13.7 average. Ball handles. His pass for Ludwig. Knocked out of bounds. For Malum, actually. Malum was out there, and they say Fowler deflected the ball out of bounds. There you see Scott Fowler on the floor. Ball goes back to Tulsa. Fowler, of course, who missed all of last year with the severe knee surgery. Still has that knee heavily braced. A long, long period of recovery for Scott Fowler. Nice to see him playing again. Malum to Ludwig. Ludwig, left side, long bomb, comes up short, fired up by Dominic Bird. Well, neither team can throw in the ocean tonight from the end of the pier.
They really can't.
Here's Scott Taylor. Taylor back to Wimhainer. Todd's going to try one. It sticks. The ball sticks there and will belong to Tulsa. That's the rule. Ball stuck in the bracketing between the back support and the hoop. How do you describe that?
I was going to say, I haven't seen that all year. It's got to happen once a year, it seems like.
We're going to say Wimhainer's touch was something less than super on that shot. Here is Morris. Morris to Ludwig. Back out front to Jeff Malum, almost knocked away by Richard Thomas. To little Mark Morris. 33-32. Turnaround by Ludwig. No good. Over the back. Underneath was Collier. Got away with it, but ISU got the rebound. Scotty Taylor at this better position. Richard Thomas to Fitch. ISU with 1 bucket in the second half. Tulsa with 2. And we have played 4 minutes of the second half. Low to Scott Fowler, inside for 2.
That's the play they've had a lot of success with tonight. Pounded down into Scott Fowler. He's got some pounds on the guy guarding him, and he can take him.
35-32. Mark Morris out front. Tulsa's become downright deliberate at this point in the ballgame.
They have. This is not the tempo we're used to seeing them play at.
They go left side. Dominic Bird to the basket. Bird virtually got himself in a 1-on-1 situation that time. Went right to the hole to make it 35-34. Illinois State's lead is 1.
It really seems like that's what they're trying to do a little more of. Isolate and get the one-on-one opportunities.
Steve Fitch from the twilight zone. Three-pointer. ISU by 4. 38-34. Mark Morris. Jeff Malum. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma product. Here's the give to Dominic Bird. Drives it. Can't get it. Ball deflected back out to Steve Fitch. Off to Wimhainer. Here's Todd on the fly. Comes back to Scott Fowler. He's going to go the distance. He's cut off. They're going to call it for the double dribble. And we have an official timeout. Illinois State by 4. That's a big lead in this one. 38-34. We'll be back with more in just a moment. All right, Tulsa inbounds the basketball. They're down 4. And here's Mark Morris. Great junior college player a year ago, averaging 15.7. He's got 6.4 assists per game. Hernady, bounce pass low. They get the ball to Collier. Collier pops it and got it. So you don't get on Collier tougher than that, he's going to burn you.
That's right.
38-36 our situation. 2-point lead ISU, three-pointer Fitch hangs on the iron, no good. Nice scrambling rebound by Scott Taylor. Back out to Richard Thomas, to Steve Fitch. Fitch goes down the baseline, stepped on the baseline. Ball goes back to Tulsa. ISU now shooting 37% on 11 of 30. Tulsa 14 of 41, 34%. 3-point buckets. Illinois State has 2 out of 6. Tulsa 0 out of 6. Who would have thought that, huh?
That's right.
31-23 the rebounding edge to TU. The attendance 9,943 in Redbird Arena tonight. 14:06 to go. Tulsa looking for the tie as Mark Morris goes in against Richard Thomas to Jason Ludwig. And Jeff Malum straight away. He tries the three, rolls it around, and out! That ball was halfway down.
I cannot believe that ball came out.
Jeff Malum, I'll tell you, something is working in ISU's favor as far as Tulsa's three-point shooting is concerned. That ball was halfway down the hoop. Tubby Smith is a little unhappy to say the least. Richard Thomas crossed the line. I don't really know what he's complaining about. He could be complaining about the shot. They're either in or they're not in, right?
Right.
Todd Wimhainer for ISU. Malum moves to him. Vandegaard, nice play to Wimhainer. Got it. Pretty play.
Best play in basketball, the old give and go, and they worked it extremely well right there.
Vandegaard to Wimhainer off the low post. 40-36 Illinois State. Malum. Malum whirling. Ball lost, deflected out of bounds, going to go back to Tulsa. Two extremely evenly matched ball clubs, or even evenly matched in size. We mentioned that at the top of the broadcast. Checking back in the Tulsa lineup comes Lou Dawkins, the youngster out of Saginaw, Michigan.
I'll tell you,
7-point first half.
Yeah, Big Lou came in and gave him a good first half. 7 points is 3 points over his average.
He's got it right now. Gets the ball to Ludwig. Ludwig swings out front. Can't get the shot down. Here's Steve Fitch. Lost it. Picked up on the floor by Vandegaard. He's challenged by Ludwig. I tell you, Tulsa's on you no matter where the ball is. 40-36 Illinois State. We've hit the 13-minute mark in the ball game. Richard Thomas. Art Kimball and Steve Mays from Redbird Arena. Baseline right, Thomas. Rebound, Vandegaard. Mike back to the glass. Up in.
That's what Mike does best. Go to that offensive glass, and he got a nice 2 right there.
ISU by 6. I think that's the biggest lead. Shot by Collier. Blocked by Vandegaard. Deflected out of bounds off of Steve Fitch. And the basketball goes back to Tulsa. You watch ISU practice, and Vandegaard appears to be the guy giving the greatest effort in practice. He plays the same way.
I'll tell you, he got the crowd excited last week against Southern, and he does it again here tonight against Tulsa. He really gets the crowd involved.
Good all-around athlete, and certainly likes to play this game.
I think the Illinois State coaches wish he could stay out of foul trouble. They'd like to give him a few more minutes, but he just seems to get in too much foul trouble.
Here's the feed, the baseline, thrown away. Illinois State. Fallon Way Casey thought he had the handle on the basketball, but lost it, and ISU now has possession. Look at Tulsa set up. You can't see all of it on the screen, but Tulsa's really stepped up with their full court pressure. Todd Wimhainer immediately is greeted by Ludwig, and now double teamed by Collier as well. But he clears it off here to Richard Thomas. Here's Steve Fitch. Down the floor to Vandegaard for the reverse. Won't go. Rebound, Way Casey. Way Casey. Up the floor quickly to Mark Morris. Here's Morris getting the ball to Lou Dawkins. Dawkins out to Ludwig for a 3. Jason Ludwig, the second best three-point shooter on this team. One of the top ones in the conference. He drilled it. So now it's 42-39. That cuts the ISU 6-point lead in half. That 3 is the biggest lead breaker going, isn't it?
It really is a momentum breaker, too.
Thomas. Left side, Vandegaard. 42-39, Illinois State with 11:48 to play. And the Missouri Valley Conference sizzler at Redbird Arena. Wimhainer on the drive. He's cut off, and we have a foul call, and this is going to go to Dawkins. Lou Dawkins picks up foul number 2. ISU on the common foul inbound. We got an official timeout. 42-39. The Redbirds on top by 3, and Tulsa is 0 of 7 at 3-point range. Job inbounded to Vandegaard. Pull up by Mike. No good. Brian Kern tips it around, but the ball off the floor and picked off by Gary Collier. Here's Tulsa. Boy, they can scoot, can't they? Dawkins works low to Way Casey inside to Dawkins off the glass.
I'll tell you, Big Lou's not a great outside threat, but he has a lot of moves on the inside.
Better put a jersey on Mr. Dawkins pretty quick because he's capable of burning. ISU turns it over, and there you see Tubby Smith directing traffic. Tulsa has the basketball with a chance to take the lead again. They haven't had it often. ISU had a 6-point lead a moment ago, and here is Scott Fowler coming in, replacing Brian Kern in the ISU lineup. Tough place for freshmen to learn the game. There's no question about it. Way Casey, fouled by Fowler. Fowler wants to know, what did I do? Foul number 3 on Scott Fowler. Way Casey will go to the line for Tulsa. He hasn't been up there tonight. He'll be shooting 2. A 75% free throw shooter. At this point, Illinois State is a 37% team from the field, 13 of 35. Tulsa 35% on 16 of 46. Rebounding edge 33-27. Tulsa. Free throw Way Casey, no good. Turnovers are now 13 apiece. ISU at the line, 14 of 23, 6 of 10 for the Golden Hurricane. Way Casey's second throw, up and in. The football tight end got 1 out of 2 down. 42-42. Illinois State against the pressure. Richard Thomas drives it up against Morse. Morse has gone the distance in the second half for Tulsa. I think Thomas has been there all the way for ISU as Todd Cagle's in another guard position now for Wimmaner. Todd tries to move it against Ludwig. Off to Vandergaard. Low to Fitch. Steve works inside. Feeds Fowler. Nice play.
Nice pass by Steve Fitch on the inside for the easy basket to Fowler.
Birds by 2. 44-42. Collier on the pull-up. Rattles on the iron. Rebound Scott Fowler. Fowler to Richard Thomas, being crowded by Lou Dawkins. Here's Steve Fitch. Fitch to the baseline. Got it.
I'll tell you, Steve Fitch is a streaky shooter. He's got 2 in a row right now.
15 points for Fitch. It's 46-42. ISU. That was about a 17-footer, a couple of feet inside the arc. Lou Dawkins for Tulsa, number 44, has played well for the Hurricane. Gets it off to Collier. Gary Collier. Back to Morse. Out here to Dawkins. Dawkins around Fitch. Gets in at close range. That time he missed it. Richard Thomas loses the ball after a nice rebound. Dawkins got it back. Finger rolled it home. Dawkins with 11 points. All off the bench for Tubby Smith. 46-44 ISU. Fitch from way out. Can't get Way Casey with the rebound. He kind of backed into Fowler. Tulsa down quickly. Here's Dawkins. Dawkins slides. Call for traveling. Good job by Cagle primarily. And camped on the baseline. Forced Dawkins to make a spin move, and he walked with it. There you see the back of Gene Millentree, one of the officials.
Dawkins just raised his hand to Tubby Smith, said he needs a break. He's been going real hard for the last 5 minutes here.
Glad to see him out for a few minutes.
I am too.
Talking to him over on the Tulsa bench, there you see him, number 44. He looks a little worn out right now, but he'll be back in. He's a fine player. Sir, at least tonight he's a fine player. Here's Vandergaard from Cagle. The double team, Taylor. Cagle. 46-44 Illinois State, 9:48 to go. Biggest lead of the ball game, if memory serves me correctly, has been the ISU 6-point margin. Richard Thomas to Cagle. Cagle circles away out front from Jason Ludwig to Richard Thomas. Thomas gets it right back to Fowler. Scotty shot, rolls good. A little bit of shooter's touch for Mr. Fowler there. He's got 14 tonight. Jason Ludwig roars down for TU. Can't get it home. Ball control by Richard Thomas. Nice move by Thomas. Off to Cagle. Cagle back to Taylor. Taylor lays it up. Misses it. Foul. Nice break by the Redbirds. They couldn't quite finish it off, but the foul was called on Mark Morse. There you go again. Now we're
get a chance to see this. Richard Thomas picks up the loose ball, makes a nice move out front, and Cagle gives a good feed inside. He just couldn't complete it for the three-pointer, but Scotty Taylor will go to the line.
Right. Thomas has been a bear on the boards, hasn't he?
He really has. I think he's got 4 or 5 boards tonight, and he's really gone hard, played a lot of minutes.
Well, halftime he had 4 rebounds. So he's got at least 4 or 5 second half of the ball game. Lou Dawkins is checked back in, number 44 for Tulsa. Didn't figure he'd be out long. Taylor's at the line shooting the deuce. Got it. ISU nudges on top now by 5, 49-44. One more to Scott Taylor. Sophomore out of Newton, Massachusetts. 826 free throw shooter. Hangs on the iron, won't go. Rebound is controlled by Dawkins. 49-44 Redbirds. Morse with the three. He just felt that one. Cut her loose, nothing there. Rebound controlled by ISU. Birds bring it up with 9 minutes showing here in Redbird Arena. Scott Taylor. Richard Thomas. Inside the paint. Thomas's shot hangs up, no good. Rebound, loose on the floor. Ludwig clears it for Tulsa finally. To Mark Morse. ISU has 3 men back on defense. Dawkins pulls it up. It rattles out of there on the rebound. They're going to call Fowler over the back. And that's 4 on Scott Fowler. That's a big foul call.
Good look at Scotty Fowler. He didn't like that call right there. He thought he had position.
I'm going to see it again.
Good pass by Mark Morse out on the outside. And there's comes Scotty over the top. Looks like he had all ball, and his momentum just carried him into the Tulsa player.
He had all ball, and he's going to stop the 250 pounds of momentum.
It's hard to stop that, Art.
Jason Ludwig will trigger it in for Tulsa. ISU's lead is 5 at 49-44. Mark Morse. Brian Kern's going to have to play now. They've taken Fowler out of there. Inside, back door to Collier for a pretty bucket for Tulsa.
Nice pass by Lou Dawkins on the inside.
Well, Dawkins is just a ton for Tulsa tonight. Todd Cagle. Cagle being hounded on him defensively as Dominic Bird, number 21, as Todd goes to the right side. Straight. We haven't dwelled on the defenses because they've been obviously straight up man-to-mans all night long. Here's Cagle. Cagle low to Vandegaard. He's triple team. Got it up. No good. Rebound. Cleared by Dawkins. Forced the shot, definitely. Lou Dawkins pulls it up. Right side. Pull up on the way by Bird. No good. Nice rebound, Scott Taylor. And underneath, the foul has been called on Dominic Bird, his third.
Dominic just trying to crash the boards right there. Really didn't have an opportunity to get the basketball.
Both clubs are just flying at the backboard.
They really are.
That ball goes up there. We haven't had a foul. We had one over the back foul called all night long. It was on Fowler. Unfortunately, his fourth a moment ago. Other than that, boy, it's been Katie bar the door inside. Here's Richard Thomas against Jason Ludwig. Art Kimball, Steve Mays with you. Good to have Steve available. Last couple of ISU games. Monday night we'll have Cal Hubbard back. Shot turnaround by Brian Kern won't go. Here's Mark Morse. Taken away by Richard Thomas. There's Richard driving it down. Off to Vandegaard. Mike on the pull-up and will not go. Ball comes to the near sideline. Vandegaard goes over the top over press row. And who are they going to give it to? Illinois State. Great round of applause for Vandegaard. There you see, Michael.
I'll tell you, he goes hard every minute he's in the basketball game.
That may be a record for one step on the press table at total distance. Official timeout. 7:35 to go. Illinois State by 3. 49-46. Illinois State by 3. It's not pretty, but it's a tough, hard-nosed conference ball game. Richard Thomas. Very typical of modern-day basketball. The emphasis on the pressure defense, the physical game.
That's right, exactly.
Vandegaard at the baseline. Cagle. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Vandegaard to Cagle. Free for the three. Thought he was going to get it on the bank. Didn't go down. And Tulsa with the basketball. Here's Morse. Solo. Head of the break. Foul on Cagle. Cagle wipes out the driving Benny Gibbs and picks up the personal foul. Going to see that again. Cagle skies with Mr. Gibbs.
See this right here. Todd throws up the brick right there, but he's forced to get back on defense. It's just a little slow, but takes a nice foul. Don't give him the easy basket. Make him go to the line.
I realize there's pressure on shooters and so forth, but what in the world makes an excellent outside shooter like Cagle or Thomas or any of these guys who can shoot it well on the outside, or Mark Morse tonight, suddenly lose the form and the stroke on the shot and then get it back? I mean, it's obviously not a perfect science.
That's right. I can't answer that question, Arden. You see it all the time.
Benny Gibbs spins out on the first free throw. Tulsa is 7 of 12 at the line, just 58%. ISU is 15 of 25. We've had 15 free throws missed in the ball game. From from the field. ISU 16 of 44, 36%. 19 of 60 for Tulsa. 19 of 60 from the field, 32%. Rebounds, Tulsa 41, ISU 33. Turnovers, 15 apiece right now. Birds with a 3-point lead and 6:45 to play. Scott Taylor launches it, can't get it. Pulling down the rebound is Benny Gibbs for Tulsa. Here's Benny, stripped from behind by Fitch, knocked out of bounds. Nice play by Steve Fitch. Benny said, where'd he come from? Fitch picked him clean, but couldn't keep the ball in bounds.
He was eyeing the basketball all the way down. He was trailing him and just didn't get an opportunity to keep it in play.
Well, for his trouble, Gibbs has left as Tubby Smith says, I'm going to make a change here. Tubby went to High Point College, graduated in 1973.
And now the jacket is off, Art, so yeah, he's officially back into the game.
He's off the jacket about 2 timeouts ago. He's been back into this one. Todd Cagle called for a second foul as he is over the back of Jamal West. Now we're at the same situation we were about midway through the first half. Both lineups have changed considerably. ISU has Fitch out there from the starting combination and Thomas. Of course, you might as well say Vandegaard's a starter, too. And, well, Scott Taylor's out there, too. You never know what role Cagle's going to play. Todd's the key to this ball. Oh, what a great block by Vandegaard. Going to see that again.
Great block. Mike had 4 blocks in the first game when Tulsa and ISU played.
Watch number 41.
3 tonight. Yeah. Great block.
No question about that. You see a lot of space between the shooter and the defender. Okay, Jamal West works with a big guy out front. Fallon, Way Casey. Down to Collier. Collier goes down the lane and drew the foul. Foul is on Mike Vandegaard of ISU. That's his second. This will put Collier at the free throw line. He's a 73% free throw shooter. Hasn't been there all night. He'll be shooting 2. 6-17. The coaches have to wonder if this is ever going to end, don't they?
Oh, gosh. I mean to tell you.
Free throw, Collier up and in. One more throw. Vandegaard has tied his career record for blocks in a single game with 4. One more throw to Collier. He got it. Didn't want to drop it, fell through. Pretty sound ball player, Mr. Collier. 10 points for Collier, 49-48. Illinois State's lead is 1. Redbirds desperately need to do something on offense. Richard Thomas stolen away by Way Casey. Down the floor to Dawkins. Dawkins is going to go down the lane in the paint. Dishes to Morse for the short pull-up, and he got it. And the lead goes to Tulsa. Hurricane leads at 50-49. 5:56 to play.
Here's a chance when ISU really needs to take their time and get a good opportunity at the basket. They haven't had one the last 2 times down.
Pitch to Cagle. Richard Thomas. Thomas with the penetration. Not a good shot. Missed it. The rebound pulled down by Fallon Way Casey. Off to Mark Morse. Hurricane with the basketball and a 1-point lead. DeLu Dawkins in the corner. Out front to Gary Collier. It's been a fairly successful combination for Tulsa. Jamal West, number 22 on the floor. As now they've become very patterned against the ISU man-to-man. Tulsa leads at 50-49. Way Casey on the drive, missed it. Ball was knocked out of bounds. They're going to say by Jamal West. He and Vandegaard were both vying for the basketball. And checking back in for Tulsa is going to be Jody Huffman. Huffman comes on for the Hurricane, and see who's going to replace Collier, apparently. Collier looks this playing tired out there.
He does. He's had a good game. Got 10 points and hit the boards real well, too.
Richard Thomas to Cagle. ISU down a point. Here's Cagle. Out front to Thomas. Going to try the 3. Got the 3.
Richard finally got one. I think he's 0 for 4 in his last 4 attempts, but he finally got one there in his big basket.
52-50. I was just going to say, don't get too conservative now. Thomas tossed it in. Mark Morse. Right side to Lou Dawkins. Works on Fitch. Goes to the baseline. Comes back up. Great block by Vandegaard. Here's Morse. Morse to Way Casey. Back to Dawkins. Back to Morse. 3-point range around Vandegaard. Pulls it up at 2-point range and scores. Mark Morse. 52-52. There's some great individual plays at that particular flurry.
It really is. Mike Vandegaard got his 5th block right there. Wanted number 6, but Morse got him up in the air and got the nice jumper from the corner.
Well, that's the career high in a single game for Vandegaard with 5 shot blocks tonight. Tied at 52 with 4:17 to play. Todd Todd Cagle controlling the offense right now is actually Richard Thomas trying to post up inside. He's trying to take Morris at 5'7" and post him.
It's kind of funny seeing that battle on the inside.
Thomas is back outside. Cagle goes low to Fitch, reverses it, got it! Steve Fitch, 54-52, Birds by a pair. Lou Dawkins, cross court, nice catch by Morse at 5'7". He really got on the stepladder. Out front to Dawkins. Dawkins to Morse. Collision. Thomas almost had it. Morse gets it back, pokes it up, misses it. Battle for the rebound. Whistle stopping play. They're going to call it on Wade Casey. His second foul. What a way to make a living if you're coaching this game.
Oh, jeez. I wouldn't want to do it, that's for sure.
54-52. We have an official timeout. 3 minutes and 35 seconds. There you see the ISU brain thrust meeting before this timeout discussion. We'll be back in just a moment. Wilkins and Galvin was in high school. Then of course, ISU ended up with 2. Ron DeVries was another one. 4, I guess, in town. At any rate, here it's 54-52 Birds. Out front to Taylor. Cagle. Fitch is posting up low. Illinois State with the 2-point lead. A lot of time on the shot clock. 3:11 left to go in the ball game. Illinois State with the 2-point lead. Don't want a turnover. Want the good shot here. Todd Cagle. Boy, Todd's in there in the guts of the ball game, isn't he?
Sure is.
Pass cross court. Controlled by Vandegaard. Vandegaard off to Cagle. Cagle with 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Ball caroms up over the backboard, and Tulsa with a chance to tie it or take the lead. Right now, Illinois State shooting 37%. 18-49. Tulsa 21 of 62, 34%. Tulsa walks it down. Scott Fowler's going to check back in, riding with 4 fouls for the Birds in just a moment. Inside to Collier. His turnaround. Back iron. Oh, great rebound, Cagle. One reason Cagle's out there in these clutch situations. Played for Tom Eder at NCHS. Tom's very proud of that kid, as well he should be. Vandegaard, left corner. Scott Taylor. Cagle. Richard Thomas. There's Richard, just a ball to Cagle, down to 2:18 to play. Cagle stripped of the basketball. Mark Morris brings it up for Tulsa. His bounce pass low. Basket is no good, but a foul on Vandegaard. His double clutch and going to the hoop was Jamal West. Vandegaard picks up his 3rd personal foul. West will be at the line, whereas the shooter, he's 70% on the season.
It's not too bad from the line.
Scott Fowler is going to come on for ISU. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. Taylor out. So you got Thomas, Cagle, Vandegaard, Fitch, and Fowler at crunch time. At the free throw line, Jamal West, 6'3", 190, a senior. BT Washington High School and Tulsa product, shooting 2. He can tie it if he gets them both. He got the first one. Jamal's first attempts of the evening. 54-53. Wade Casey's going to come back in the ball game. Fallon, Wade Casey, 6'8" kid, and leaving is Bryant Tipton, the starting center. Wade Casey's had more game time tonight than Tipton has. There's Jamal West. Good look at him. They got a pair. Jamal makes it 54-54. Richard Thomas with Mark Morris on it. Cagle. Reach in foul out front on Jamal West. Foul number 2 on West. That is not going to put ISU at the line.
That's right. They'll be forced to take the ball out of bounds with 1:54 left in the game.
16 foul on Tulsa. So they have used up all their free ones. Next one will put ISU at the line. 1:54 left. Inbounded. Fitch out here to Thomas. Want the good shot, but have to be cognizant of that shot clock as well. They run it all the way down. It would be just a little more than a minute left after they shoot. 54 apiece. Here's Steve Fitch. Steve being crowded by Jason Ludwig. Right side to Todd Cagle. Jamal West is on Cagle. Working inside is Fowler. Whirls, can't get it down. Vandegaard with the board. Back to the hoop and in. Mike Vandegaard gives ISU Mark Morse. ISU needs a stop. Needless to say, all alone is Collier. Collier slipped in behind Vandegaard. Ties it at 56.
Boy, there had to be a defensive mix-up right there, and who was guarding who.
Yeah.
Collier was just wide open underneath the hoop.
56 apiece. ISU with the basketball. 1 minute to go. 32 seconds on the shot clock. Steve Fitch to Richard Thomas. Here's Thomas. Penetration move to the basket. Cut off and foul. The foul's going to go to Mark Morris to put Thomas at the line with 54 seconds left. Going to see the bucket by Vandegaard here. Just a moment ago, they gave ISU a short-lived lead.
This is just determination. Scott Fowler, point-blank range, can't make it right there. Vandegaard just sticks with it and gets the return basket.
Leaving is going to be Steve Fitch, and Scott Taylor comes in for Illinois State. Fitch has played a lot tonight. Richard Thomas, I'm going to call him Scott. Richard, of course, at the line. He is shooting. He missed it badly. Shooting 1-on-1, obviously didn't make it. 50 seconds left. Tulsa's got the ball, and the game is tied at 56 apiece. Here's Mark Morse. This is the position Tubby Smith wanted to be in. They're standing at Redbird Arena. 56 all. There you see the clock. They'll probably run her down and call a timeout. Half a minute to go. Mark Morris directing traffic. We're down to 19 seconds. Here's Morris. Morris inside. High in the air goes Vandegaard, and Vandegaard comes down on Morse. And Mike picked up the personal foul. So Mark Morse will go to the line with 15 seconds left.
He's the guy you would expect to be right in the thick of things. Mark Morse just made a great play there, went right around Richard Thomas, and Vandegaard was forced to foul him.
ISU is going to take the timeout. I believe that's a 1-and-1. I don't believe it's a two-shot violation. We're going to keep it right here as ISU takes the timeout with 15 seconds left to go in the basket.
Looks like he's given one and one.
1-and-1. He only got the first one.
Bonus shot.
As good a player as Morris is, you would expect him to drain that one. 57-56 Tulsa. 15 seconds left. Second throw is good. Tulsa now leads it by 2 at 58-56, and the Hurricane took the timeout. So they want to deploy defensively, see what the strategy is. A lot of time, 15 seconds to go. Well, what do you do if you're Bob Bender? You've got to look for the overtime, don't you?
I think you have to. You have to play for the two. They haven't been shooting the three-pointer real well tonight. I think you got to go.
Try to do is prevent ISU from getting that ball off the floor and all. Trying to stop them there. This is only the third time in the entire ball game that Tulsa's had the. Okay, ball inbounded. Clock rolling, as you can see. Here's Richard Thomas. Down to 10 seconds. ISU trails it by 2. Down to 7 seconds. Thomas on the drive. Off the glass and in! Richard Thomas ties it. 1 second, all that remains. We got a tie ball game, 58-58. And Tulsa has the length of the floor to go. Tubby Smith's asking for 3 seconds on the clock. Another Tulsa assistant's asking for 2. Another was asking for 4. Now, 1 second is what they settled for.
Yeah, they're going to stick with 1 second. They didn't call the timeout when the basket went in, so it did run down to 1 second.
Yep, okay. Just like we showed it on the replay there. I don't know if you can rack that up again and show it to us, John, or not. It's the clock is a significant factor. At any rate, ISU, okay, here we go. Here's Thomas.
It's kind of what we thought would happen. Richard Thomas penetrating, but he got the open jumper and got it to go to tie up the basketball game.
Yeah, it ticks down to 1 second. Jamal West are going to throw the ball. You got to watch for the foul here. Morris has it, lost it out of bounds, and we're in OT. ISU now arguing they should have the ball into the basket with a half-second left, but they're not going to buy that. Good try by Jay Lowenthal. Okay, the end of regulation. Even Steven, take your pick. The Redbirds, 58. The Golden Hurricane, 58. We'll be back in just a moment. Controls the opening jump ball, the overtime period. Greg Collier. Lou Dawkins. Jamal West. Collier against Vandegaard. Dawkins. Jamal West against Cagle. Casey for the drive-in. 60-58 Tulsa. Richard Thomas sent this to OT with the drive-in. There's Steve Fitch being double-teamed and trapped in the corner. Clears the ball off to Vandegaard to the hoop. Foul by Casey over the back, his third. At the start of the overtime, ISU was shooting 38%, Tulsa 34%. Rebounds 38 for ISU, 48 for Tulsa. At the line is going to go Mike Vandegaard, shooting a pair. Big throws.
They're all big right now down the stretch. Got to have them all. ISU struggled a little from the line. They've been 15 of 26 up to this point, but Vandegaard got the first one to go.
60-59 Tulsa, second throw. Mike Vandegaard hits the pair. 13 points for Vandegaard on the night. We're tied at 60. Tulsa up. Here's Collier. Juggles the pass. Looks off to Lou Dawkins. Being covered by Steve Fitch. Fitch number 3 on it. Here is Morse into the trees. Deflected away on the inside. Controlled by Vandegaard. Interesting. Morris tried to challenge both Fowler and I think it was Vandegaard there with him inside. Lost the basketball. ISU with, here's Thomas. Up.
Boy, I love to see that. Richard Thomas is coming on a little bit offensively right now. Big plus for ISU.
62-60. The kid from Chicago, Whitney Young, drills it. Collier. Gary Collier out front. Jamal West. Looks off to Mark Morse. Morse at three-point range. No good. Rebound Fowler. Juggled it, but Scott got it back. 3:30 to go in the overtime. ISU leads at 62-60. Here's Richard Thomas. Bender wants patience right now. Good shot. His club leads it by 2. Here's Steve Fitch. Fitch in the paint. Little pull-up. No good. Pulled out of there by Vandegaard. Knocked back out front. Stolen away. Jamal West has it. Off to Morse. Back to West. West on the drive. Offensive foul. Offensive foul. And look at Tubby Smith. Tubby Smith is going bananas.
I'll tell you, and it's rightly so.
There he is. Tubby Smith can't believe it. Is that steam I see coming out of Tubby's ears? It could be. Here's the feed. Long down the floor to Fowler. Foul is going to be called on Mark Morse. Scotty Fowler went to the hoop.
Boy, Mike Vandegaard with a heads-up play right there. Saw Scotty Fowler down at the other end, wide open. Made the pass, and Scotty will go to the line, shoot 2.
I'll tell you, Tubby Smith put on one of the best sideline performances I've seen in a long time.
That was great, wasn't it?
60. Fowler at the line, shooting a pair. Big throw, 62-60, 3:07 in OT. One out. Of course, that charging foul at the other end.
Oh, that's a big play.
A big play.
Big play. If you get the call, he's got to go a chance to go to the line to give him the lead. But it went the other way.
First throw Fowler's missed tonight. He's 4 out of 5. Can give ISU a 3-point lead if he can crank this one in. He does. 15 points for Fowler. 63-60. Bob Morris up leading cheers in front of the ISU bench from the fans. Dawkins misses it. Rebound Collier. It hangs on the iron. No good. Vandegaard clears it. Fitch gets it out of there finally. ISU has the basketball with 2:48 to go in overtime, leading 63-60. Richard Thomas circles out. Mark Morris, who now has 4 fouls, digs in on him defensively. Here's Todd Cagle. Vandegaard. Cagle. 2:26 left in the extra session. 58 all at the end of regulation. Cagle with the short pull-up. Rolls out. No good. And Cagle all over Jason Ludwig on the rebound. Picks up the foul.
Todd was a little frustrated right there. He missed the open jumper. Just went over the top and got the call.
Open jumpers have been about as easy to hit tonight as a Nolan Ryan fastball, haven't they?
They've been tough to hit. We haven't seen many open jumpers. The defensive have played real well tonight.
Ludwig 1-1 at the line. 67% free throw shooter. There's a good look at Jason Ludwig shooting into the ISU Post it up. Got it. Gary Collier. 14 points for Collier at 63-62. Illinois State by a digit with 2:08 left in overtime. That's a big follow-up bucket by Collier. Here's Richard Thomas being hounded out front by Mark Morris. Gets the ball to Steve Fitch. Fitch to Todd Cagle. Almost traveled, but not quite. ISU needs to score. This time down the floor. Go to the foul line. One of the two. They're up by just one with 1:49 left in overtime. Here's Richard Thomas. Thomas dishes right back to Van de Gaart. Van de Gaart pulls it up. Can't get the shot down. Blocked. Ludwig with the basketball off to Mark Morris. Chance for Tulsa to take the lead. Van de Gaart with the interception, but he's called for traveling. Van de Gaart arguing with official Terry Anderson. Tulsa will inbound. 1:36 to play. ISU wants a timeout. Timeout Redbirds. They lead it by one with 1:36 in the extra session. Will be for Tulsa at 6-8. All right. Hurricane has the basketball. They're down one. Here's Ludwig. Ludwig loses the taken away by Cagle. Nice job by Todd Cagle. Big steal. Redbirds have the basketball and a 1-point lead with 1:24 to go. Lou Dawkins bounced it all over Richard Thomas. Thomas circles around Collier into the corner. Comes into Fitch. Fitch had it. Lost it. Taken away by Tulsa with 1:11 to go. Mark Morse down quickly. Here is Collier. Ludwig for the three. Got it. Boy, what a big shot that was by Jason Ludwig. His second three of the night. 65-63 Tulsa. 54 seconds left to play in overtime. Driving the baseline. Foul. Fowler drew the foul as he goes in against Fallon Way Casey. 49 seconds left. Foul number 4 on Way Casey. Fowler can tie it if he makes both throws.
Boy, they need these free throws right here. ISU's kind of forgotten about attacking the basket the last 2 or 3 times down, and they really haven't gotten a good shot off.
Tulsa's biggest lead of the ball game right now, 65-63.
2 points.
Yep. Scott Fowler comes in for Mike Van de Gaart. Or Scott Taylor it is. Scott Fowler's already out there. And shooting 2 big ones. He's 5 out of 6 at the line. 49 seconds in overtime. Free throw, as you saw, hung on the outer rim.
Boy, I kind of wonder where Todd Wemhaner's been this whole second half. You expect him to be in the game at a close situation like this. We really haven't seen much of him the second half.
One more throw coming to Fowler. He got it. Scott Fowler gets 1 out of 2, and it's a one-point game at 65-64. Thomas now fouls Mark Morse. Richard Thomas stopping the clock, his 3rd personal foul. Morse will be at the line in a 1-on-1 situation, or now 2. That's right, the bonus rule in effect now with the 10th team foul at Illinois State. So Morse will shoot 2. Mike Van de Gaart checks back in. 65-64 Tulsa. Taylor leaves. To the line, Mark Morse. Shooting 2. Well, he missed the first one. 65-64 ball game. Tulsa with the 1-point lead. Morse misses a pair. Wade Casey, though, got the rebound. Big play by the center for Tulsa. And here is a foul against Steve Fitch out front. Foul number 1 on Fitch. This will put Lou Dawkins at the line shooting 2.
I'll tell you, that was just a tough break for ISU. The ball really came off the rim hard, and Fallon O'Casey was in the right place at the right time and got the rebound and got it out, and ISU was forced to foul.
39 seconds left in the extra session. 65-64 Tulsa. Dawkins at the line, and Illinois State is going to take another timeout. Redbirds want to try to ice Mr. Dawkins if they can. There you'll see the ISU coaches. Bob Binder with Billy King and Ray Giacoletti, Bob Morris, of course, Jay Lowenthal. Well, it's all on the shoulders of Dawkins right now. He is 1 out of 2 tonight. 60% free throw shooter. Not money in the bank exactly. Score remains at 65-64. One more throw to Lou Dawkins. That's badly missed. Thomas. Vandergaard with the board. ISU with the chance to take the lead. They're down 1, 65-64. 30 seconds left in overtime. Here's Fitch, turn around, doesn't go, rebound, deflected out of bounds, gonna belong to Illinois State. 22 seconds left. Now what does that do with the shot clock? I think that sets a new 45 up there. We don't need it now.
Don't even need it now. 22 seconds left in the game.
I'm not too excited, right?
No.
Inbounds to Vandergaard, all alone for two. Vandergaard. ISU leads it by 1, 66-65. Poor defensive job on the out-of-bounds play. Vandergaard scores. We're down to 10 seconds. Here's Morse. Morse looking, driving, pulling it up, shooting. Got it! Mark Morse. 3 seconds left. Tulsa leads it by 1, 67-66. ISU got the timeout. And we'll have the length of the floor to go with 3 seconds remaining. What a tremendous basketball game at Redbird Arena. Morris, the guy you thought probably was the man that if Tulsa won would be the hero. This hit a big pull-up.
There's a good look at it right there. Tulsa did the same thing that ISU did at the end of the regulation. ISU isolated Richard Thomas. They do the same thing on the other end. Morse gets the easy jumper.
As Mark Morris came down, we just commented, you notice who he shot the ball over. The guy went into traffic pretty well, and I didn't really notice on the replay that closely, but not that we're faulting the defensive man. It's just curious to know how deep he was able to penetrate. He went to the baseline.
It looked like it was a 7 or 8 footer right there, but 2 or 3 ISU guys went for the block. He just made a great shoot.
Well, it's still not over. 67-66. 3 seconds left to go. Todd Cagle will trigger it in for Illinois State.
We may even see another timeout by one of the teams. Tulsa may call one.
Cagle. There's a foul. No call. Feed. Foul. Fowler's shot rolls off at the buzzer. ISU had the opportunity to win it. Scott Fowler couldn't get the shot down. What a finish.
Oh, my.
I don't know if we have that flourish at the end of the ball game or not. I bet we do. The Redbirds, I thought there was a foul against Vandergaard out here. Okay, there you see it.
Made a great pass, and it just went off the wrong angle of Scotty's hand, and it didn't go down. Tough break.
There you see Scott Fowler, disconsolate walking off the floor, but boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. I thought Vandergaard was fouled out front, but of course they haven't called that all night long, really.
No, they haven't.
Then to get the second opportunity, all that within 3 seconds was amazing.
I was going to say, that was the slowest 3 seconds I've ever seen. Mike Vandergaard dribbled down the middle of the court and was still able to make the pass. That was incredible.
67-66 in overtime.